Good morning. It's Memorial Day 2023, and I'm doing a little something different this year for Memorial Day. I served in the 11th Brigade um, in the United States Army uh, back in the late 90s, part of 3rd Army when I was deployed to Saudi Arabia and Kuwait. Uh, I got out of the Army. My 8-year contract was up, both active duty and reserve time, December of 2002. And 3 months later, in 2003, we would invade Iraq, Operation Iraqi Freedom. And this was the second war in the global war on terrorism. And my old unit that I just left 3 months prior, deployed to Iraq as part of the invasion force. And they were actually stationed as part of that deployment in one of Saddam Hussein's compounds, one of his mini compounds, and they were stationed in Baghdad. Leading up to that part of the deployment, of course, was the main combat involved with the invasion, the beginning of the war, before folks got settled into various cities across the country and the Green Zone. You probably remember hearing about that. But before that, we had open warfare, open combat across the vast plains of Iraq and numerous cities. The maintenance company that was part of my battalion within 11th Brigade, 552 Patriot Missile Battalion. That maintenance company was the 507th Maintenance Company, and they were ambushed, part of the fog of war, if you will. Got separated from the main convoy, and a group of the 507th Maintenance was ambushed at the Battle of Al Nasiriya, 23rd March 2003, and 9 of those soldiers unfortunately lost their lives in the battle. From the 507 Maintenance Company. 2 additional Army soldiers lost their lives when they doubled back to try to assist after hearing the traffic over the radio. And several Marines were also KIA when they were sent in to basically ascertain what was going on, to see if there was anyone to rescue. And they also came under heavy fire in Al Nasiriya. So I'm going to read the list of the 9 who paid the ultimate price, the ultimate sacrifice. And that's what Memorial Day is about, everybody. Enjoy your time off, enjoy your time with friends and families. That's why I served. I think that's why most of us serve, is so we can have our freedom here in the States, and that those who we love, who we don't necessarily want to serve. I don't want my mom, my sister in combat. So I kind of see it as I served in place of my nieces and my cousins. I did it so they didn't have to. And so enjoy your life. But also pause, at some point, reflect on the price of freedom, and remember those who aren't with us anymore. Remember the fallen. That's, why we have Memorial Day. And so I'm going to go ahead and read these names. This is not about me, not at all. Proud to have served, proud to have served overseas twice, and proud to be a retiree. But, my pride takes a back seat to the folks who didn't come home. More proud of the fact that they existed, that they were there, that they stood the gap, stood in the breach, climbed that ladder, whatever the case may be, took the fight to the enemy on behalf of all of us so we could enjoy our freedoms and enjoy our liberty. So here we go. These are in alphabetical order by last name. Specialist Jamal R. Addison, 22, from Roswell, Georgia. First Sergeant Robert J. Darty, 38, from Cleveland, Ohio. Private Ruben Estrella Soto, 18, El Paso, Texas. 18. Think about that. What were you doing when you were 18 years old? Private First Class Howard Johnson II, 21, Mobile, Alabama. Specialist James M. Kyle, 22, Comfort, Texas. And I apologize if I mispronounced any of these names. Chief Warrant Officer Johnny Villarreal Meta, 35, Pecos, Texas. PFC Lori Paestiwa, Hopi Indian, 23, Tuba City, Arizona, Navajo Reservation. Private Brandon Sloan, 19, Bedford Heights, Ohio. And finally, from the 507th, Sergeant Donald Walters, 33, Kansas City, Missouri. The last person mentioned there, I have some notes here, a couple of notes. Sergeant Donald Walters, 33. He was captured alive and interrogated, intensely interrogated. He refused to give up information to the enemy, and he was summarily executed. We know this from finding the remains. The Marine Corps guys that went in after the initial ambush, they recovered his remains, and he was executed. Lori Paestiwa, her Hopi name was White Bear Girl, and she was also captured alive, and the autopsy stated that she died in captivity from her injuries. There were also, if I remember correctly, I should have looked this up, there were 6 soldiers that were captured as POWs and lived and were rescued. That's 6 outside of PFC Paestiwa and Sergeant Walters, who died. Those 6, you can look it up. Some very well-known stories out of that group. Thank them for their service too. But the fallen, these 9, and also have the 2 from the 3rd FSB, 3rd ID. They were KIA when they doubled back to assist the 507th, and they were given an order to fall back, but they went into harm's way anyway to try to save their brothers and sisters. Specialist Edward J. Anguano, 24, Brownville, Texas, and Sergeant George Edward Buggs, 31, Barnwell, South Carolina. So that's why we have Memorial Day, folks. And like I said, enjoy your day. Be glad, be proud to live in America, to have been born in America, to be an American citizen. But remember those who paid the ultimate price for all of us. All of us. Don't let their sacrifice go without notice. And that's all I got. Thank you for your time, and I hope you have a great day.